Jay Vardy.
Jay Vardy.
This Jay Vardy.
Jay Vardy. Thank you, Jay Vardy.
Jay Vardy.
Jay Vardy. Oh, Jay Vardy. Oh my gosh.
Hello all and welcome to this. Tonight is the debut of Monday Night Raw on Netflix. WWE's first Monday Night Raw on Netflix. WWE's first show on Netflix, leading us up to WrestleMania 41, which will be the first WrestleMania on Netflix. The Raw debut on Netflix is tonight, and I wanted to celebrate by making my WrestleMania 41 fantasy card my final WrestleMania 41 fantasy card before WrestleMania 41 takes place. I will not be doing any more updates, but this is my WrestleMania 41 fantasy card given everything going on in WWE television right now, given everything rumored going on in WWE, given all the available talent that WWE has, and given the fact that this WrestleMania will be taking place on Netflix. I'm going all out trying to give the best WrestleMania fantasy card I possibly can, giving great matches, big name matches, matches that'll be awesome to view in the ring. I'm going all out to give my best WrestleMania 41 fantasy match card. And I did a WrestleMania 41 fantasy card back in September. I will link those videos to this video in the description and in a comment. Or just in the description, we'll say. But in the description box, you'll see my September fantasy card. And please check out the short version of that or the long version of that. Many of the matches from that card are still on this card. But a lot of them have changed, and it'll be interesting to see how my fantasy card has developed from September 2024 until now, January 6th, the Raw debut on Netflix. But many of the matches are the same, but many of the matches are different. I also will link in the description my choice for the Royal Rumble winner. I did a 13 possible Royal Rumble winner video for the men's Royal Rumble where I discussed 13 possible Royal Rumble winners, and obviously the person who I chose to win the Royal Rumble will be reflected in this WrestleMania fantasy card. But if you're interested in the 13 possible Royal Rumble winner video, that link is in the description as well. So in the description box you'll find me talking about 13 possible 2025 Royal Rumble winners, and you'll see my September version of my WrestleMania 41 fantasy card. But now let's get into this year's, or into the 2025 version of my WrestleMania 41 fantasy card. I have 8 matches on night 1, I have 8 matches on night 2, and I have 16 matches in total. What I'm trying to do here is give the best WrestleMania possible, given the current storylines heading into Raw on Netflix, given the current crop of superstars signed to WWE, and the fact that this is going to be Netflix's first WrestleMania. I'm thinking that the WWE and Netflix are going to go all out and give us the best WrestleMania possible. So that's what I'm trying to do with this card. I'm trying to give the absolute best WrestleMania possible. I'm throwing everything to the wall. I'm giving all the big matches that will look good on posters, that will sell the show, and matches that will have great creative storylines heading into it, and matches that will be incredible moments at WrestleMania, and matches that will also be incredible actual matches at WrestleMania. I'm trying to do all of that. So that's what we're doing with these 16 matches. Kicking us off on night 1, I have the original Bloodline versus the new Bloodline, and yes, I know Bronson Reed is currently injured. I assume that he may be back in time for WrestleMania. I know he said he won't be, but a lot of times wrestlers say that and then they are back in time, and so to make it a surprise. Let's just assume Bronson Reed can come back. If he isn't, they'll be able to sub someone else into this match easily. But let's go Sami Zayn, Jimmy and Jay versus Solo Sikoa, Jacob Fatu, and Bronson Reed in a 6-man tag team street fight to open up WrestleMania 41. I have the Women's Intercontinental and Women's United States title on the line in a 10-woman ladder match. And this will work similarly to how the tag team ladder match at WrestleMania 40 worked. The match ends when both championships are won, and official winners of the match will be the two people to walk out as champions. If you walk out as a champion, you officially won the match. It doesn't matter if you won first or won second. And you can possibly win both titles and become an undisputed mid-card champion. But I obviously have Chelsea Green, the United States champion. I have Dakota Kai, who's favorited to win the Women's Intercontinental Championship. I have Bayley, I have Mishin, I have Jordan Grace, I have Lyra Valkyria, sorry. I have Roxanne Perez, I have Zelina Vega, I have Io Sky, and I have the veteran Natalya. 10 women competing for the Women's Intercontinental and Women's United States title in a 10-woman ladder match. We could have 2 champions retain. We could have an undisputed mid-card champion. We could have 2 new champions. Who knows? 10 women competing for the Women's and IC championship in a ladder match. This one's very straightforward. Kevin Owens versus Randy Orton. They've been feuding for a while now. We know what's going on between them on TV. Randy Orton was taken out by Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens has the ladder match with Cody coming up. This I expect to happen at WrestleMania unless they enter a triple threat with Cody, the two of them. But if not, I assume Kevin Owens versus Randy Orton is going to happen at WrestleMania. And it should be a very good match and a very big name match in the mid-card of night 1 of WrestleMania. This one would be a lot of fun. How about for the first time in WWE and WrestleMania history, we have the TNA World Championship defended at WrestleMania. The current TNA champion and former WWE superstar Nick Nemeth, formerly known as Dolph Ziggler, taking on the greatest TNA wrestler of all time and current WWE superstar AJ Styles. Imagine a TNA world title match on night 1, Nick Nemeth defending against AJ Styles. What a moment that would be, especially if AJ Styles was able to win the TNA title at WrestleMania. That would be absolutely incredible. I have a huge tag team match in the mid-card of night 1. The Wyatt Six. How about Uncle Howdy teaming up with Eric Rowan to take on the American Badass, The Undertaker, coming back for one more match, and teaming up with the man who ended his streak at WrestleMania and took away his powers in storyline, we could say, Brock Lesnar. You have Uncle Howdy and Eric Rowan, the brother of Bray Wyatt, an original Wyatt family member, versus the American Badass, The Undertaker, who's coming back to right a wrong and help put over the Wyatts like he probably should have years ago, and teaming up with a man who also should have put over the Wyatts years ago, in the man that ended his streak at WrestleMania. What a tag team match this would be. Uncle Howdy, Eric Rowan versus Brock Lesnar and The Undertaker. We know Brock and Undertaker, we don't know how active Brock wants to be anymore, and Undertaker is retired, but I think you could get them both in to do this match. Netflix would be able to pay them each $1 million to do this match, and Undertaker in a tag team match wouldn't have to do all that much work. I think this match is probably the least likely to happen on my dream card, but I think this would be a really, really cool match to see. I have a triple threat match for the Women's Championship. The new WWE Women's Champion, Tiffany Stratton, defending against the former champion, Nia Jax, who she cashed in on, and Charlotte Flair. My idea was to see Tiffany announce a cash-in at WrestleMania, like you have the winner of the Women's Royal Rumble take on the Raw champion, and then Tiffany would say she's cashing in at WrestleMania in advance, and then just make it Nia versus Tiffany, but they already had her cash in on SmackDown at the New Year, so this is what I have. I have Charlotte coming back and making it a triple threat between the three. Tiffany versus Nia versus Charlotte. I think that would be a pretty good triple threat match, and you could probably have any one of these three win, but this would probably be a big win and a big title defense for the new champion. But this is the match that I want to see. Tiffany versus Nia versus Charlotte, triple threat for the women's title. You have the women's tag team titles on the line. I think Liv Morgan's going to lose tonight to Rhea Ripley. I think she's going to become tag team champions with Raquel Rodriguez again. I think Jade Cargill will be back in time for WrestleMania. I think it'll be announced that it was Raquel and Liv that took her out, and Jade will ultimately team up with Naomi. both of whom have been tag team champions with Bianca Belair and Naomi, who will lose the tag titles to Liv and Raquel, who will team up with the returning Jade Cargill to take on this would be a huge tag team match for the women's tag team titles at WrestleMania. I think it should happen. Liv Morgan deserves to be on WrestleMania in a prominent match, and this would be a prominent match. Liv and Raquel versus Naomi and Jade Cargill for the women's tag team titles. Which leads us to the main event of night one, Roman Reigns versus The Rock. Pretty self-explanatory. This is a match that's been in the making for a long time now. I think the timing is right now more than it has been the last couple years. You can have The Rock come back and be part of Solo Sikoa's new bloodline and be the leader all along of that bloodline versus the original and only tribal chief, the head of the table, Roman Reigns versus The Rock to find out who truly is the head of the table. Roman Reigns, the biggest WWE superstar of the last 10 years versus the final boss, The Rock, the biggest star to ever come out of WWE in the mainstream anyways. Roman Reigns versus The Rock. This would be a huge match to main event night one. I think the timing is right now, and this is the year that it should finally happen. Roman Reigns versus The Rock, main events night one. Which brings us to night two, and I'm going to go with Asuka versus Kairi Sane. And I know both are injured, but I expect both to be back in time for WrestleMania. And I think they should open up night two, and this should be the storyline. The Kabuki Warriors tag team comes to an end. Asuka is kicked out of Damage Control. Asuka versus Kairi Sane at WrestleMania. If Asuka fails to win at WrestleMania, she must retire from the WWE. Asuka has never won a match at WrestleMania, and something has to give. Either she wins at WrestleMania this year, or she must retire from WWE, taking on her younger tag team partner, former tag team partner, Asuka versus Kairi. Asuka either needs to get it done, or she needs to hit the showers and leave forever. Asuka versus Kairi Sane with Asuka's WWE career on the line would be a great opening match to night two of WrestleMania. Same idea as the women's ladder match. You'll have the Intercontinental title and United States title on the line. Both championships must be won in this match. The match is only over when both titles are won. You can have an undisputed mid-card champion. You could have two new mid-card champions. You could have both champions retain. Who knows what could happen, but I obviously have the Intercontinental champion Braun Breaker in this match, the United States champion Shinsuke Nakamura in this match. I have Rey Mysterio. I have Sheamus, I have Carlito, I have Dominic Mysterio, I have Damian Priest, I have LA Knight, I have Ludwig Kaiser, and I have Dragon Lee. I think this would be a pretty epic match. And how I would do it is I would have Dominic Mysterio win the Intercontinental title first, and then I'd have Braun Breaker win the United States title second. That way Dominic Mysterio wins an Intercontinental title and can really start a mid-card title reign, building him up, getting him ready for the main event. And Braun Breaker can be an official winner of the match while starting a new championship reign as he loses the Intercontinental title but wins the United States title. That's how I would do it. And just for fun, I'll throw out how I would do the women's match. I would have Io Sky win the United States title, and I'd have Zelina Vega win the Intercontinental title while giving Roxanne Perez the spot of the match to get her over. But I'd have Io win the US and Zelina Vega win the Intercontinental. That's how I would do the women's. And for the men's, Dominic Mysterio wins the Intercontinental and Braun Breaker wins the United States title. This one I think would be fun, and I know Snoop Dogg and Miz and R-Truth, they've all been, they all have been connected at WrestleManias and through WWE a lot, but, why not have them at WrestleMania one more time all together. The Miz versus R-Truth with Snoop Dogg as the special guest referee. This wouldn't be a classic, amazing match at this point of Miz and R-Truth's career, but it would be a nice segment. It would be a fun, entertaining segment, and it would be a nice kind of buffer in between the ladder match and the rest of night two, especially since night one would have been so epic and chaotic. This would be a nice little buffer moment and entertaining moment to get us ready for the rest of WrestleMania. The Miz versus R-Truth with Snoop Dogg as the special guest referee. This is what I would do to make the Undisputed Tag Team Champions. I don't think the men need 2 different tag team titles. I want to see an Undisputed Tag Team titles. Just 1 tag team championships is all that's needed for the men. And I'd have the War Raiders versus Tama Tonga and Tangaloa. And I know the Bloodline does not have the WWE Tag Team titles right now, but I think they can win those back before WrestleMania. And I would have them face the War Raiders in a tag team match to determine the Undisputed Tag Team Champions. These are 2, lower mid-card type tag teams competing to be Undisputed Tag Team Champions. The winner would get over in a big way at WrestleMania. And again, this could be used as a nice buffer because the next 4 matches are all massively huge matches. So this could be a little bit of kind of a breather for the audience while getting some young, sort of mid and lower tier tag teams over. And also, letting the fans rest a little bit and then just enjoy this as they get prepared for these next huge 4 matches. The first being the Women's World Championship. I do believe Rhea Ripley will win her title back at Monday Night Raw's debut on Netflix, and I have her going up against Bianca Belair, who I have winning the Women's Royal Rumble. Bianca Belair is undefeated at WrestleMania. They teased this match a couple years ago after WrestleMania 39. It never ended up happening at WrestleMania 40. I think this is the way to go. I know some people want to see Bianca versus Jade, and some people are talking about that. I think Jade is not ready for that match yet. I think Bianca versus Jade needs to be a big money match, and I'm not sure Jade's quite ready for it yet. I do think Jade will be a big star in WWE. She's just not ready for that big money match yet. But Bianca versus Rhea, I think, is the biggest women's title match the WWE can possibly put on. Rhea Ripley wins her title back at Raw on debut on Netflix. Bianca wins the Women's Royal Rumble. And there we go, Bianca versus Rhea for the Women's World Championship at WrestleMania Night 2. Husband and wife versus husband and wife. Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch versus CM Punk and AJ Lee. How do you have CM Punk versus Seth Rollins on the debut of Raw on Netflix and carry them all the way to WrestleMania? Well, you eventually get the wives involved. And AJ Lee has been mentioned on WWE TV a lot since CM Punk has returned. CM Punk name dropped Becky Lynch in his go home promo with Seth last week on Raw. I think this is a huge epic match. This match was actually a lot of these matches were used in some manner in my September WrestleMania fantasy card. This was definitely one of the matches I had in my September WrestleMania fantasy card, and I do believe that this match can still happen, and in fact I think this match should happen. Even if AJ and Becky come back for only one night only for WrestleMania, I think this would be an epic match. The fans would love this. I think Becky and AJ going face to face in WrestleMania would be a huge moment for the women's division, both of them meaning so much to the history of women's wrestling in WWE. CM Punk and Seth Rollins will be feuding from now until WrestleMania, so seeing them in a WrestleMania ring together would be epic. And CM Punk, this may not be his year to main event WrestleMania in my fantasy card. I think he main events WrestleMania 42, but here we go. CM Punk, AJ Lee versus Seth Rollins, Becky Lynch, husband and wife versus husband and wife. First time ever in history that happens at WrestleMania. This would be epic. The WWE Championship match. Cody Rhodes defending against the winner of the Men's Royal Rumble, Drew McIntyre. This is the 2 best wrestlers in the company competing for the biggest title in the company. That should happen at WrestleMania as often as possible. And the last 2 years saw the 2 best wrestlers wrestle for the WWE title in Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes at both 39 and 40. They were the 2 best wrestlers in the company all around. No doubt about it. And now the 2 no doubt about it, best wrestlers in the company are Cody Rhodes and Drew McIntyre. Therefore, they should face off for the WWE Championship at WrestleMania. Drew McIntyre is going to win the Royal Rumble. He's going to start a heel stable with Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins as they target CM Punk, Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns, and Randy Orton, who they feel are the poisons of WWE and the cancers of WWE in their opinions and their words. And they will form a modern day NWO / Shield type stable to take out all the poisons of WWE, specifically CM Punk, Roman Reigns, Randy Orton, and it all comes back to the champion, Cody Rhodes, and Drew will win the Royal Rumble and he will challenge Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania for the WWE Championship. This could be the main event, but we have somebody's last WrestleMania and another world title to get to. What I have as the main event of WrestleMania, Gunther defending the World Heavyweight Championship against John Cena in John Cena's last WrestleMania match. John Cena's last time is now. He will challenge Gunther for the World Heavyweight title at WrestleMania, but it's not so simple because Logan Paul will be tossed in there. John Cena versus Logan Paul has been discussed for a WrestleMania possibility. Apparently WWE Creative and WWE fans are not big on that. Gunther versus Logan Paul, the seeds have been placed for that as a possible world title match at WrestleMania, and we all know John Cena, this is his last WrestleMania. He has the potential to become a 17-time world champion, and all those discussions will be blended into one to make the best match possible. Is John Cena capable of having an epic main event worthy match with Gunther at this stage of his career on his own? I don't know, but you throw Logan Paul into the mix and make it a triple threat, absolutely this could be an incredible main event level match. And really, you can go with any of the three winning this match and it would be the right decision, but I think the most right decision would be having Gunther and Cena take out Logan Paul maybe like 20-25 minutes into the match, and then it becomes basically a one-on-one between Gunther and Cena, with Cena potentially becoming a 17-time champion, but ultimately putting over the champion and letting Gunther beat him. Traditionally in wrestling, you do not win your last match, you lose your last match. And while this isn't John Cena's last match, period, it is his last match at WrestleMania, and he has the chance to make a new star here. Him competing in this match with these two guys would really help make Logan Paul and Gunther into huge stars for the future and now of WWE. And Cena will do the right thing and he will let Gunther beat him. Gunther will retain the World Heavyweight title in this epic triple threat main event, and Gunther will now be able to claim he has defended a world championship in the main event of WrestleMania, defeating John Cena in John Cena's last WrestleMania match. That's what should happen at WrestleMania. And you know what? This video went longer than I thought it would. This isn't exactly a short video, but this isn't exactly a long video either. This is kind of right in the middle. So you know what? I don't think we're going to do a long version. I think this is the long version. There are my 16 WrestleMania 42 matches. Thank you very much for watching.